Hi everyone, so today I'm sharing the cards that I created using the Simon Says stamp October 2020 card kit of the month. So I hope you guys enjoy, and here we go. For the first two cards, I use this piece of pattern paper, and as usual I'm cutting around the flower arrangement on pattern on the paper, and I'm going to get two cards out of this. So I cut around the parts of the flowers that I really like, and then I'm going to use a Copic marker to kind of spruce up the flowers and put the cards together. Then I'm gonna use that piece of pattern paper with the two little creatures, and I'm covering them up because I like pretty fun colorful cards. So I cover that up, and with the piece of pattern paper that I cut around, and I'm just using my trimmer to get the size that I want. And then I'm going to add it to a brown card base, and that will be it for card number 1. Then I just use my Nouveau, I think it's called a crystal glaze, and I just went over the sentiment and a couple parts of some of the flowers, and that's it for this card. For the second card, I'm going to use the Happy Fall Y'all sentiment from the stamp set, and the other half of the pretty flowers. And I stamped the sentiment on a piece of pink polka dot paper, and we're putting our flower arrangement at the top, right above the sentiment. And then we're going to cut out this so it can fit on our A2 size card. And I'm adding this directly to the card base, and that's it for this simple card. For card number 3, I'm coloring one of the bears, and I'm using my very inexpensive watercolor pen that I got from Amazon. And I kind of sped this up so it won't take won't take up too much of the video time. And for his sweater, I actually stamped him on a piece of the pattern paper and cut it out, and that will be his sweater. Then this piece of pattern paper had a chair in the scene, so I just kind of use a Copic marker to spruce up our chair, and we add our bear as if he's sitting on the chair. Add him to a white card base, and that's it for card number 3. As you can see, I'm using the glaze again to kind of add some dimension to our flowers, since it's very flat, and also the books and his sunglasses. The sentiment also came from a piece of the pattern paper. It says cozy days, which means he's just chilling on the chair. And that's it for card number 3. For card number 4, I actually lost all my footage for how I put the card together, but I used some of the pattern paper to create my sky. I actually used a die from Lawn Fawn to create the sun, and I painted the trees, cut them out, painted my bear, add some pattern paper for his sweater, painted the trunk and the pie and cut them out, and just put the card together, and that was it for card number 4. For card number 5, I used the inside and out stitch rounded rectangles die set and the circle stacks to cut out this pattern paper. I loved the flowered area, so I used one of the circles to cut out the little creatures in the middle, and I'm going to add my own little creature that I colored, which is going to be the owl from the stamp set. As you can see, her little cute self over there already colored. And then I cut a piece of, I used the brown cardstock and the circle stacks to cut the circle. I wanted it to be set inside of the scene, that's why I cut the scene out first. And then I'm trying to decide the sentiment, so I used another circle, I used the same size circle and some cream cardstock to cut out the sentiment. It says, "Hey friend," but I'm not going to use the entire circle. I'm just going to cut the bottom where the sentiment is located, and we're going to add, once we cut that, we're going to add it to our scene, add our little owl that we colored above, on top of the sentiment, and put our card together. I think this little owl is so cute, so cute, and I tried to keep her as light as possible. Once we put our scene together, I cut this piece of pattern paper out, and I'm just going to use it to frame our scene. and then the entire thing will be added to a white card base, and that's it for card number 5. For card number 6, I'm using one of the one that we cut from the sheet. In other words, this came on one of the pattern paper, so I just cut it out. It says pumpkin kisses and harvest wishes, and I didn't want to just leave it plain, so I colored one of the pumpkins from the stamp set, and I'm gonna add it right in the middle where the big pumpkin is located. And add it to a white card base, and that will be it for this. Another simple card. For card number 7, I wanted to replicate a card that I did in another video before. There's a card where the pattern paper came with a lot of houses on it, and I colored 2 of the houses and created like a connection between the 2 houses where I was saying that the person is missing. They're missing each other because they live far apart. And here we have a stamp set that can use to demonstrate that also. So I used the 2 house stamps. I also created a a mask, so I don't overlap the houses too much. So I stamped it on a piece of masking paper, and I'm just stamping the houses over and over, and then I'm gonna color 2 of them and put the heart between and add my sentiment, and that's it for card number 7. I framed the scene with a piece of brown cardstock, and at the bottom I'm going to emboss the sentiment. It says loving you from afar, and I stamped it with, someone says, embossing ink. Add some white embossing powder. Then we frame our scene with this piece of checkered pattern paper, add it to a brown card base, and that's it for card number 7. And I mentioned the card that I did before, and this is the card right here. For card number 8, I'm creating a square card, and I used the bare image from the stamp set to stamp him, and I stamped him on each corner of the piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to color him up and stamp him on some of the pattern papers for his sweater and cut them out and add it to the images. This one is also simple. Once I color him up and add all our sweater, all the sweaters on. This sentiment was cut from one of the pattern paper. It says, "Hello, sweater weather." I frame my scene with a piece of brown cardstock, and then the card base is actually some yellow cardstock. And that's it for this card. For card number 9, I started with a piece of off-white cardstock and that checkered pink paper at the bottom. I just glued a piece of that paper at the bottom, and this beautiful blessings came from the first card, cut out from the center, and I used the circle stacks again, and I'm adding a piece of brown cardstock straight across. I wanted to go across the circle, and I colored another one of my cute little owls, which is going to go at the side of the circle. And I love the sentiment. It says, where am I out of scene? Beautiful blessings. Then I add here my scene to this blue polka dot paper. Add my card front to a white card base. And that's it for card number 9. Card number 10 is actually my favorite. I just used one of the pre-printed scenes pattern piece of paper, and I cut out some of the leaves from the stamp set and colored them, and we color 2 of the pumpkins and just add the leaves and the pumpkins to cover up the majority of the flowers. And that's it for card number 10. For the bonus card, I used the Flippin' Awesome die set from Lawn Fawn, and I'm using some brown cardstocks and some of the pattern paper from the kit. I also cut out a lot of images from a piece of the pattern paper. It has images to do with fall. So for example, this one is a blanket, and then there's a sentiment that goes with it that says cozy blankets. So these are all the things that pertain to fall, and we have warm drinks. Next we had like socks and pies, and so I cut out a bunch of those images and add them to all the framed scenes of the Flippin' Awesome die. And the first flip has the word fall, and I'm going to just add some leaves that I cut out to go around this fall sentiment. And there's a lot of videos on Lawn Fawn that show how to put the Flippin' Awesome dies together. If I had done it for this video, it would have been too long. And once I've created all the framed scenes, then we just adhere the Flippin' Awesome card. Once I created the flipping part of the card, I use this pretty pattern paper, and I'm going to add it to the front of that paper like so. Then we're going to add the entire thing to a white card base, and that's it for my bonus card. I want to thank you guys for watching today, and I hope you enjoy the cards, and don't forget to subscribe, put up your bell notification so you know when I put up the next video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.